Hello, I'm MBX and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series where I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across my channel. These tend to be mostly based around the next update coming out for Minecraft, which is currently the Aquatic update if you're on Java and on the console editions, but if you're playing Minecraft Bedrock, there's the weird thing where 1.6, which is kind of Aquatic, kind of not, it's a big situation, we'll talk about it sometime, but for now, let's go through your questions from the last week's thing, and let me just start by, this is terrible, but I've got to do this. Let's start by reading some of my favourite comments from last week's video, where I said the update would be coming out next week, and I was really sure it'd be coming out Tuesday because I had quite a few responses, such as this one saying, 4J Studios are the Tuesday guys, not Mojang or Microsoft. Tuesday releases aren't a thing anymore, they were just the old console editions. Probably he exaggerated it. Take it as a rumor. And you know what, that hurts a little bit, that some people like, when I make these videos, when I respond to someone about stuff like that, I'll tell you why I believe something, I'll tell you how certain I am about something, but some people are still just like, I've got to disbelieve everything because it's the internet in 2018. But my favourite one to read back, we shouldn't be doing this in a Q&A, but it's just like, it's so beautiful, and it is a question from last week, or it is a comment from last week's video, because this guy says, honestly, he's been wrong a lot of times, and just milks the subject for views. The studio is hot garbage for taking ages and have not been communicative with the community. And screw you, man. Anyway, that said, let's move on to the actual first question, which comes in from Andy Hubbard, who says, what are your opinions on Bedrock getting the update Aquatic release before Java, and do you feel this is a one-off that Bedrock gets the update first, or will this be how it's handled going forward? So, I honestly can't work out the decision-making at Microsoft/Mojang behind releasing it on Bedrock like a week and a day before releasing it on Java, after releasing it in 3 separate phases, because at least the situation where no one's quite sure which update they're talking about when they say the update Aquatic. Do you mean the Bedrock update Aquatic, or do you mean the second part of the Bedrock update Aquatic, or do you mean the Java one, or do you mean the console one, which is coming a little bit later? So I think the confusion level is at the max, and I also think it doesn't necessarily benefit Bedrock too much because it's missing some features from Java, so I'm not sure why they made decisions. If I had to guess, this wasn't a planned decision. Either it was planned and they had some really weird motives I can't understand, or it wasn't planned and they just figured, let's just release it when they're ready, because people, because it's been so delayed now, people would be angry if we held back one version of the game just to match another one. That's my official theory at the very least right now. And as to the question of how they want to handle it going forwards, I'm not honestly entirely sure. If I had to make a prediction here, I would say that they'd want to go back to the synchronized releases, but the future of Bedrock is going to hold a lot more updates than the future of Java, and given that console updates have to follow Bedrock but in a slightly weird way, synchronized updates might not be coming back. And honestly, from a user perspective, like all of you, I imagine a lot of you would be very upset if they did deliberately hold back the Bedrock to make the Java better, or held back the Java to bring it in line with Bedrock, so I think it kind of makes sense. But again, that's just how it seems right now. It looked like a mess, but maybe to them it was perfect. It's not too easy to be sure, but let's move to the next question, which is a couple of people basically asking the same thing, just in different ways. But someone asked why they're on a goose chase, and why do you chase the guy? There was no point for doing it, and honestly, yeah, I agree. When people chase you for too long, it's like, stop, man, it's not worth your time. However, because enough people did it to me, I know this is a terrible way to live in the world, but it's something I decided to do anyway. I was like, I'm going to chase people again. So even in the background gameplay, you saw me just now chase someone until they just jumped off the cliff right now, and the reason for that is just because, it's happened to me enough times. I want to, like, 1, feel what it's like, and 2, I also want to get better at chasing and avoiding being chased. Whenever I chase someone, they do some stuff that I'm like, that's clever, that helps you avoid people, and, if they can, get me off their tail, maybe I can get other people off my tail in a future situation. So yeah, it's honestly like a practice thing. Playing Battle Royale, I'm like learning a few new tricks of the trade, because Bedrock is a little different to other platforms. So yeah, I would recommend, if you're playing on any Minecraft servers, try doing some different things every now and then, just because you'll learn some different aspects of gameplay. And again, Minecraft PvP seems like it's simple, like chase them with the sharp thing, hit them with sharp thing, win game, but it is a little bit more complex, at least I like to believe so. But let's move into the next question, which comes in from MAA, or MAA Gunner, who says, haven't watched your videos for 3 years. What's changed in the Minecraft console, kind of scene since then? So, if you haven't watched in 3 years, I did the maths, and I've uploaded about 2,100 videos in the last 3 years. So all you have to do is watch 100 videos a day for 3 weeks, and then you'll know everything that's happened. You'll know the ups and the downs. Honestly, you probably could do that. It would be a really wild 3 weeks, but pro tip, if you ever do that, let me know. But to kind of give you the summarized version, because Minecraft console, it's been through a really weird 3 years, I'd say. So 3 years ago was when Minecraft console was going through perhaps its roughest phase. There was like 2 updates in a year, and people were like kind of questioning, like, is this a thing they're taking seriously? And then in 2016, it happened that they were actually working on an entirely new system for the game, mini games they were calling it. Battle came out, which was the Hunger Games people wanted all this time. It was one of the like most craved, most kind of like theorized features. and then it came to the game. People loved it. Then they introduced a couple more mini games, and like Console Edition was becoming its own full-fledged version of the game. And then Minecraft, like PE at the same time was developing into Minecraft Bedrock, and the goal for Minecraft Bedrock was to be universal Minecraft. Because one of the big problems of Minecraft, especially the console editions, is they were all the same game, but none of them could play with each other just because of platform differences. It's the same with like Java and all that stuff. We had lots of versions of Minecraft that led to the situation where you had to ask, what version are you playing Minecraft on? It's like, oh, not the same one as me. So yeah, for a while it used to be you had to play with people on the same platform. Then they introduced it so you could play PE/ Windows 10 together, regardless of whether you're on an Android tablet or iOS phone. Windows 10 all could play together. Then they made it, a step further so the Xbox could join the fray. That was a big controversy. And now the Switch has joined. So now the console, versions of Minecraft are kind of split in half. And, honestly, channels like mine and the community of all of you watching have been caught in that crossfire, right? Where there's the old gen of people who have one more update, then there's nothing going. Then there's the PlayStation 4 guys who are still in their own version of the game. And then there's the Xbox One and the Switch who have kind of been absorbed into the Bedrock side of things. And again, we're still making Minecraft, Bedrock videos on the Xbox here, but it has been something that led to this huge fracturing, and I think the community is starting to slowly come back together now. That's my take. I'm not too certain, but that's what's happened in the last 3 years of Minecraft console. Hopefully, that's the answer to your question. If it's not, then now you know. So, I want to make a whole video, like, on the history of Minecraft Bedrock at some point, just to explain the whole trajectory of that. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below, or if you think you've heard enough of it and that 3-minute summary was enough. But let's move into the next question, which comes in from Emerald Gaming 763, who says, will Minecraft PlayStation 4 get any exclusives due to it being the last updated console edition? So I'm going to answer this about console edition as a whole, because console edition is receiving the updated Aquatic, and then after that, only PlayStation 4 will receive updates after that. So I think the console edition will get some exclusive implementations of features. I don't think there's any point in them implementing, their own features, because it's something they've never really historically done, and now it makes even less sense. However, stuff like, shipwrecks, I'm looking forward to the console update to see how shipwrecks are handled. Like, are they going to have to increase the spawn rate massively? How are you going to deal with ocean monuments, because you need those to make the conduit? How are you going to handle buried treasure? You got to have lots of that to have different... they're going to have to come up with some way to make the blue eyes, the hearts of the seas, making those renewable. There's all these fun questions that are going to lead to exclusive implementations, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle them, really. So let's move into the next question, which comes in from Burn, who says, when are you going to continue the Unity SMP series again? So I said this at the start of that series, and you can go back and quote it if you want, but I'll just quote it for now. But I really wanted it to be like a series where, like, I slowly like interacted and spoke with some more Minecraft YouTubers, just like kind of feel what's out there and do some like collabby style stuff. But honestly, I've said this before and I'll say it again, even though I want to do it because it's a little bit uncomfortable, it is a lot of effort for something that I know it's going to be like rough and like, I don't know, it's like, I guess it's like a form of like social anxiety, but like, like Minecraft YouTuber anxiety. Like speaking to people in real life, it's fine. Like, it's easy, there's no consequences. But like speaking to like Minecraft YouTubers, it's like, oh god, there's like this whole, you gotta like set up recording, you gotta work out how to do it together. It is gonna be a weird thing, and I'm gonna like, I guess, do it at some point. I really want to. It's just, yeah, I need to set it up, and I need to have like enough time and also work out with someone else the schedule. But it will happen sometime soon, and maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it'll be terrible, but that's the fun thing about YouTube. Let's move into the next question, though, which comes in from Steampunk Papercut, and I think this is a joke that I get, although it might just be like, you know how like there's that rule, like if you go too satirical, you can't tell if it's a real comment or if it's someone just being really, silly. But they say, you expect me to watch a 10-minute video? You should answer everyone's questions in 5 seconds. And again, I think this is the satirical one. But the sad thing is, there are a lot of people who genuinely leave comments like this on other videos, and it blows my mind that people ask that question and don't understand how ridiculous it is. But not even like the moment you hit enter, like before you hit enter or before you hit post comment, because think about it. Okay, you're on YouTube, right? Yeah, we agreed with that. If you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube. Someone's stolen my video. It should be on YouTube, right? So if you're on YouTube, you're here to watch some number of minutes of videos. Like the shortest videos on YouTube that people enjoy watching are what, like 1:30, and the longest videos are deep into the hours. This video is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. That's the standard length for my videos these days, I'd say. So if I'm going to be answering questions on YouTube, again, very clearly, you're on YouTube, I'm on YouTube, we're both on YouTube here. then I'm going to use the time that I know I have as an opportunity to answer questions in a better way. For instance, this comment, if I was just on social media, I'd say that's stupid, lol, something like that. But because like that's funny. I'm not sure if this is funny or stupid. I hope it's funny. But if you have a video, you have the opportunity to do better stuff, longer form stuff. You can actually dive into it. The reason I like making news videos on YouTube is because we have the opportunity to say, here's the news, here's what I think it means, and here's my analysis and what's going on. I really love, YouTube as a media, and people who don't understand YouTube, it's like, why didn't you just answer the questions in the description? It's like, do you click on YouTube videos just to see the description? No, it's YouTube, no one does that. And yeah, it blows my mind a little bit. So pro tip, if you're on YouTube, because sometimes you have this feeling, right, where there's like a question that's raised in the title, don't expect that question to be answered in the first 5 seconds of a 10-minute video. It's going to be answered during the process, and although you might think, like, every question can be answered in 5 seconds, it's like, well, actually, I mean, if you want to really answer a question, it takes longer than that. Like, yesterday we made the joke of, like, so the Venezuelan hyperinflation crisis, it's not just like, well, you see, the solution is print less money. It's like, or like, what do you think about Donald Trump and his recent comments about NATO? It's like, oh yeah, clearly the response to that is meant to be good or bad. No, nuance is what makes, opinions beautiful. Being able to express those nuances is why I'm on YouTube, and why I'm not just twittering in response to your questions. And, maybe some YouTubers don't take advantage of that, but it's the thing I love about YouTube, and it's the thing you should love about YouTube too, because, again, we can actually dive into stuff like this, and that's that. I think it's beautiful. But honestly, I think, like, most YouTubers don't deal with this, especially ones who, like, have a question or something. I think the reason a lot of YouTubers ban their comments is just because so many YouTube comments are just hostile towards the YouTuber these days, and it's like, we're people too. A lot of YouTubers basically aren't people, but I'd like to believe I'm a person. Anyway, with that said, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Gaming with MC, who asks, what other subjects fascinate you besides gaming and geography? So obviously, because this is a question, I meant to answer it in 5 words or less, so but no, I think, you might know from the fact that I have a gaming channel and a geography channel, I'm really interested in both those things, and even then it's like more niche than that. I'm interested in, like, a lot of Minecraft stuff, and battle royales right now, I'd say, is the scope of my interest there. And when it comes to geography, it's more like geopolitics that I'm into, like the whole idea of, like, what makes countries successful and countries unsuccessful. I love diving into that stuff and seeing what is, found, and that's, why I talk about it so much on IBX2Cat. And, so what else do I find interesting? I'd say, to kind of summarize it, I find, like, philosophy or ethics or something to be interesting. So, like, the idea of, like, okay, so, like, should you run I think we mentioned this in yesterday's stream, but it's like, okay, should you run over a cat or should you run over 2 birds? And it's like, probably the 2 birds, right? And it's like, okay, a person or 5 cats? And it's like, ooh, that's a hard... I like these ethical questions where everyone has these magical lines in their head that they don't understand fully. I like just exploring that. I like futurism because the world is changing faster than it's ever changed before, and working out how it's going to change is like a fun kind of prediction thing. And it also says, again, I think it says a lot about us back as humans again. And really, you can say that's what all these things are. If you exclude, like, gaming, which I just like because I played a lot of games as a kid and I still do play a lot of games. But, like, all those things are like, I like seeing how humans interact because it seems a bit bizarre to me. And it's like a thing you can study in so many different ways. But yeah, that's what I'd say I find interesting. Gaming with MC. So I started a channel dedicated just to talking about how things will be in the future. I'll be honest, that's most of what this channel is, right? Whenever we go into podcast mode, I think that comes up anyway. So yeah, with that said, let me know what you think about all of the things that I answered, or leave your question for next week, because as always, Q&A Saturday is based on there. I will say, I'm going to take a small break from comments, because stuff like, there's been so much just, you've seen 2 examples in just this one. It seems like I'm just raging at comments, like, people are just like, oh, he's using this to, milk the subject for views. By the way, it was correct. Stuff like that. I don't know why it's driving me so insane, but it really is. Like, I think it's affecting my ability to make YouTube videos. It's affecting my mental health in, like, a serious way. And it's just affecting my happiness levels. Whenever I read a comment like that, it's just like, you know why you're wrong. Or you should know why you're wrong. And I don't think people are even leaving these comments at me. I think they're just angry with the world or themselves. So I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna take a small break. If you have a response to a video that you know I need to see, because honestly, leave comments still there down below. Like, have a fun with each other. But for the next week or so, I won't be reading YouTube comments at all. I just, like, if you need to get something towards me, tweet it at me, because right now, at least, I just, I just need to take a break, I think, for the sake of my sanity. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to everyone who does leave positive, nice comments. There is more of you than there are people trying to tear me apart, but when you see that, and then you also see, like, how the weird channel, like, you know, the fracturing of the community too, just all of that. It's too much for me to think about for a little bit. So just taking a small break from YouTube comments, wanted to let you know, and I hope you all enjoy this video and everything else that will come out over the next few days, hopefully. And I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.